What is up, beautiful people, friends, and family? It's your girl Cam, and I am back with another video. Today I'm coming at you with a final flip through of all of my trackers and challenges for my 2024 reading journal. All right, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cam. This is Piece of the Plans. Here on this channel, we talk about all things journals, planners, reading, Bible study, Bible journaling, all of those good things over here on this channel. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post new content. Today, we're talking about the 2024 reading journal. So this has been going through a long process to get this reading journal set up for the year. And today I'm going to show you all of my trackers and all of my challenges because some of these I did not film. Okay, I'm going to show you how things are going to change a little bit in my journal for this year. So let's get into it. This is an Archer and Olive. It's a B5. It's roughly 8 by 10, roughly 8 by 10. I love this size because it gives me more space to do all the journaling, do all the things. So this is my name card page. And I have a quote here that says, "She reads books as one would breathe air to fill up and live." Then next is my table of contents / index, where I'm documenting all the different sections of this reading journal. And I did use some stickers from Isis Ella Jules here and some scrapbook paper from Michaels. Next is my year statement page and my intro page. All of these pages were filmed, and I will link, I'll try to link the playlist for you up in the card. Okay, so the next page is where things are going to switch up. In my journal for last year, I had all of my books just randomly plotted on my bookshelves, and I color coded them by genre. Okay, so I think orange was fiction, just regular fiction, like not a mystery, not a thriller, not fantasy, just a regular fiction. The red was romance. I think the gray was a mystery. Purple was nonfiction, and green was YA. But this year, I wanted to do something different. So, you know how you go into the bookstore and they've got all the books categorized by different genres and categories? That's how I have laid out my bookshelves for this year. And I'm super excited about it. So the first bookshelf is my fiction and nonfiction shelf. I love this. So this is where all those books that were colored orange would go on this shelf, and all the books that were colored purple will go on this shelf. Because I started to get confused last year. I would write the book in, and then I would forget what color goes with which category, and it just got a little bit confusing for me. So I'd rather have separate bookshelves to write the books in on. That way, I have to purposely turn to the fiction page or nonfiction page to enter the book. Okay, what I am going to color code is the rating, and I'm going to have a legend down here with the star rating color code. So pink will probably be 5, tan or brown will be 4, maybe gray will be 3, maybe a darker gray will be 2, and then maybe, I don't ever really give a book a 1 star. I would rather just DNF it than give it a 1 star, but who knows, I may read a book and give it a 1 star this year. So I'll probably have 1 through 5 listed down here at the bottom. Okay, so this is my fiction and nonfiction shelf. And this is the romance shelf, and I love it so much. It's like a little reading nook. Oh, I forgot to tell you that there are 60 books on this shelf, and there are 40 books on this shelf. I just kind of made those numbers up. There's no rhyme or reason to that. I just kind of made those numbers up. And you know, thinking about it, I don't read as many romances as I do traditional fiction. Okay, so here's my romance shelf. And I'm going to do the same color code here with the 1 to 5 star rating. And then we have the thriller and fantasy shelf. Oh, I love this so much. So I think this will help me to keep my books more clearly organized as I read them. And the first book I read for the year was a thriller. I haven't written it on here yet because I wanted to do a flip through with you first before I do all of that, before I start writing on it. Okay, but here's my fantasy and thriller shelf. And then we go over to my monthly review wall. So all of these are picture frames for each month of the year. And there's a line drawn down the middle, across the middle of each frame. So it goes January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, etc. So at the top of this line, I'm going to write my number one book for the month. And then under this line, I'm going to write how many total books I read for the month. And this will be a snapshot for me of my number one book and how many books I was able to read that month. And I love that this paper kind of reminds me of wallpaper. And then you have the frames here. I love that. My next page is for my monthly favorites. So I have space here for the book cover of my favorite book for each month. January through June on the top shelf and July through December on the bottom shelf. I drew this shelf myself and colored it in with a mild liner, and then I added some stickers of some little plants and lights across the top of the page. And I did not film this. I did this kind of on my own time, along with this page and the bookshelves. That's why I wanted to kind of show it to you, because I had not shown these to you before. Okay, you did see my series tracker. This is where I am tracking all of the series that I am reading. And I'm reading In Search of a Prince, Tokyo Ever After, The Lunar Chronicles, Legends and Lattes, Legendborn, 100 Kingdoms. I didn't even know that was a series when I started reading that. But it was good, so I'll keep it up. A Song Below Water, Mermaid of Venice. Such a good mystery series. I mean, so good. Happily Ever Afters, Boo. I didn't know that was a series either. The Poppy Wars I have not started. And Court of Thorns and Roses I haven't started either. But the rest of these I have started. Okay, but I'll track all of my books that are part of a series here on these pages. Then I also filmed my Reading the Rainbow page. When I read a book that has a cover that is one of these primary colors, I'll make a copy of that. I'll print out a cover of that book and place it here. So we've got a challenge here for myself for the year. And then here's my book bracket. This will be my book bracket for 2024. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what will be my favorite book this year. And I don't think I showed you this one either. I'm not sure, but this is my monthly stats, my monthly stats page. So this is where I will track how many books I read, how many pages total, what's the average star rating, how many days was I able to read, how many 5-star books that I have that month, 4-star books, how many audiobooks. And I mean, I'm primarily doing audiobook right now. So audiobook is probably going to win out every month. How many physical books that I read, Kindle, and then we go into the genres and categories. So fiction, nonfiction, romance, thriller, fantasy, graphic novels, novellas, picture books, and poetry. And this is for every month. I'll track those stats here. I love having this one place to just get a snapshot of my stats for the year. I love that. Okay, I did film my bookshelves where I will write in the books that I read, where I got it from. Was it an audiobook? And if so, did I listen to it on Hoopla, Libby, Everand, Audible? If it was a physical book, did I buy it, Did I check it out from the library? That's what I mean by source, and then I will give it a rating. Again, I've read 2 books so far this year, and I haven't written them in here yet because I wanted to show you these pages first before I started writing in them. I have enough space for 135 books. Don't know that I'll read that many, but I'd rather have more pages than not enough. This is my Reading Across the USA and Reading Around the World page. I don't even know, where was that first book from that I read? I think it was from Great Britain. So, oh no, it's not. That was actually in 2 books that I've read. The first one I think was in California, and the second one was in Great Britain somewhere. So I'll have to document those in here too. And then here is my book bingo and my Goodreads challenge and the alphabet challenge. When I read a book whose title begins with one of these letters, I'll make a tiny copy of the cover and place it in here next to that letter. So right now I've got Secluded Cabin Sleep 6. That was so good. I gave that 4 stars. The copy of that book will go here. The other book started with the, so I won't be using, I think it was The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Yeah, didn't enjoy that one too much. But I wouldn't use it anyway because it started with the, and I don't want to use the or a as the alphabets for this challenge. I want to use something else. So just challenging myself a little bit more. Okay, and here is my daily reading. I have been reading every day so far. Today is January 9th. So we're doing good with that. But this is a challenge just to make sure I'm reading daily, even if it's just 10 pages. And speaking of pages, this is where I track how many pages I've read per day. So I've got the months across the top here, and I did draw this little image on a separate piece of paper, and then I taped it in here. This girl with this stack of books, I think that's so cute. And then if I read no pages, I color it brown. If I read 10 to 20, it's orange. 21 to 50, it's green. 50 to 100, it's gray. And then a lighter brown is 100 plus. So that's what's going to go in this tracker for the entire year. And then here is my monthly reading tracker where I will write down how many books I read each month and color those in as well. Just again, a snapshot of my month. And this is where I will write in the books that I want to read that I hear about on YouTube or on TikTok or Instagram, and kind of where I can find those books. So I'll write the title, where I can find it, the author, and then the number of pages. So I'll probably write the title, author, and pages first, and then kind of do some research and figure out which one of my Audible sources carries this book, and which one has access to it pretty readily, because some places like Libby, sometimes you have to wait 12 or 14 weeks to get a book. Hoopla, the wait time is not that long. They don't have as wide a selection as Libby. And then with Audible, you can get it anytime, but if you've already used your credits for the month, then you have to buy it. So I want to go through all of my free resources first before I go into the paid resources to see if I can find these books. Okay, and next I did film my superlatives, which I love this page. So it's going to document my favorite book, the first book I read, the book that made me cry, the best bookish couple, the book I read the fastest, the book that made me laugh, my favorite book of the year, shortest book, longest book, best dressed book, meaning the best cover, best main character, book I would highly recommend, biggest surprise, biggest disappointment, best or worst villain, best romance, and then a book that I would say don't waste your time on it. Most confusing book, best thriller, the last book I read, and then the best page turner. And then finally, the next video that you will see concerning this reading journal will be how I print my book covers. Okay, so that's the video that's coming up next. I'm a little bit behind and I don't like being behind, but it's kind of a challenge at the end of the year because you're still using your old planners and journals and you're trying to set up your new planners and journals. So yeah, that end of the year space gets a little tricky, but we will catch up. We'll catch up this month and we'll be on track for February. But the next video that you'll see with this journal will be how I print my photos, and then I will show you how I will set up my January reading section in this journal. So I haven't done that yet, but it's going to go right here. All right. I was waiting on a couple of things. I was waiting on ink to arrive and some more sticker paper. So that was the deal with this not being set up. So yeah, life be lifing sometimes. Life be lifing sometimes. Okay, so yeah, that is it for this video. Nice and short and sweet. All of my trackers are all set up and ready to go, and y'all, I am super excited about how this has turned out. What I'm most excited about are these different bookshelves. I love bookshelves, as you can tell, because I've got so many in here. Like, I'm using bookshelves everywhere. So I'm so excited to have all these different ways to document my reading, to document my challenges, and I love the neutral aesthetic that I have created for this year. And I thank you so much for joining me for this video. I hope that you have been enjoying this entire series and that this has been giving you some ideas of how you can track your reading and challenge yourself to read some new and interesting books in 2024. So I will see you in the next video where I will show you how I print my book covers. And I hope you have a great week. I hope that you read some good books. And I hope that your week is full of love, joy, and most of all, peace. See you next time.